Boxing has a quirky way of scoring. It's round by round, and unless there's a knockdown, it's just 1 point per round.
Yeah.
So sometimes you could see a fight, and at the end you go, fighter A won. But when you break it down round by round, you go, oh, I guess it was 6-6.
Wishing you nothing but the best. Everybody believes you're a rising star, and I hope it proves true. And thus far, you're doing your thing. Congratulations to you.
And some people maybe don't. How good is Shakur Stevenson in your opinion?
He's not good, he's great. And I think tomorrow the world will take notice of how great he is. There's a reason why certain fighters didn't want to take the chance to step in the ring with this fighter.
Stephen A. Smith and Max Kellerman spoke highly of Shakur, highlighting his speed and smooth timing, and said he looked focused, in full control, and far superior to Teofimo throughout the fight.
Come on, start that. Two different body types. One to me is a better puncher.
True, yes.
Shakur can punch way better to the body than Lomo can.
Loma
He's a
has
totally
more
different type
power
of
at
animal.
his weight than Shakur has had so
That's
far.
for sure.
His weight.
No, I agree with this. Shakur is longer than Loma and naturally bigger, but you can't say that Shakur's ahead of Loma. He has not proven that yet. Maybe he will be, but man, that's a lot. Very few fighters.
He's a great.
Yeah,
So what's your favorite fighter, though, Shady?
Bro,
and still he's telling you. Right, and he's
Shady also loves Teo. Shady's a big Teo fan.
That's why one thing about your boy, I keep it 1,000. I don't have no favorites. Shakur is my guy. He's my guy.
Max Kellerman said the outcome wasn't shocking at all, pointing out that Teofimo had already lost to Kambosos, a fighter who is nowhere near as talented or polished as Shakur Stevenson.
Even in the loss that he had against Kambosos, where he had a puncture, like he had some medical condition in his esophagus that like was dangerous actually, and it looked like an off night. By the way, George Kambosos doesn't like when I say this, and I apologize. I understand it feels unfair to you, and maybe it is.
After the defeat, and while dealing with an injured eye, Teofimo admitted that his strategy didn't work. He acknowledged that the better fighter won the fight and showed respect in a calm and professional way.
How you doing,
Your
man?
thoughts on tonight?
Just grateful to be here, man. That's all.
You put on a performance tonight and unfortunately came up short, but what was it that surprised you about Shakur Stevenson?
Nothing at all, man. Just didn't come with the right plan. That's all. Better man won tonight. Good fan.
Do you feel like you'd like to run it back at some point with Shakur? I know you're someone that always wants to event it. Like that time Kambosos beat you, you want to do it straight away, right?
We'll see what happens next, man. I'm going to let my team do the work on it.
Ryan Garcia posted on X that Teofimo had a bad game plan, explaining that his tactical mistakes made it easy for Shakur Stevenson to take control and dominate the fight without much effort, while Terrence Crawford praised Shakur Stevenson by saying he is not just good, but truly great, calling him the best and adding that after this performance, everyone will now recognize and respect his dominance in the sport.
He's great. A lot of people started saying, oh, he's a runner, he's this, he's that. Just to detour people from being excited to see him fight because he's not knocking people out and all that crazy stuff. But they would see why people really don't want to get in the ring with him come tomorrow.
I know you've shared the ring with him, sparring plenty of times. What makes Shakur Stevenson great? What makes him different? What makes him, I don't want to say an ilk of yourself, but in the same kind of era, the Bud Crawford era, he's got a Shakur Stevenson era coming through.
Everything. The offense, the defense, the poise, the rhythm, the distance, the timing, the punch placement, the react time. Like, I can go on and on. You know, the toughness, the grit, the grind. Like, he's amazing, you know. And tomorrow
Wade Pellman said that Shakur Stevenson might very well be the best boxer in the world right now, pointing out how he completely dominated Teofimo Lopez and made the win look easy. And with that victory, Shakur further proved his case as a top fighter, while Andre Ward reacted live by calling Shakur great and saying he will keep showing that level of excellence moving forward.
Leave that alone.
What did you think of Shakur's performance
He
tonight?
did what he had to do, man. You know, there's always room for improvement. You know, I think he had a lot of stuff he could have did, but he's so talented and gifted, man. You know, you also got to trust what he's seeing in there. You know, we on the outside, you know. But I think he put on a tremendous performance, and obviously, you know, the level he's at, you always look for things he could do better, you know.
What did you see from the outside that he might?
I mean, I'm just saying, like, you know, like I think it was a lot of body work and stuff like that. He could have touched on, but again, he's in there, you know. So he's seeing stuff, he's feeling the punches. We not, so you got to trust what he's seeing.
Teofimo just couldn't get going.
He put on he tried to get going. He just wasn't allowed to. So it's just the distance and range that Shakur has just perfected throughout the years, and then making him pay when he does that discourages him to not want to punch anymore. And I think he was out of...
He added that Shakur Stevenson is one of the top 4 fighters in the world and said he believes Shakur will continue to dominate at the highest level.
See, I think he didn't really have any answers. When Teo starts doing little certain things with his hands and starts playing the clown game, he got an answer. He's down to just one shot. So Shakur just stayed focused, stayed locked in. And, you know, was at 4 divisions now? 26, 30, 35, 40?
How good is Shakur? I interviewed Terrence Crawford and he said he could be the greatest of all time.
We don't know. He's not done yet. You know, he's not done yet. He's a great for sure. How great, we gonna see. You know, he got a lot. He can buy.
Lennox Lewis reacted to Shakur Stevenson's performance by saying it is extremely difficult to counter a fighter who moves that well, and added that he expected Shakur to dominate Teofimo Lopez because of his superior movement and control.
And let me tell you, Shakur moves so well. He won every round, and he was just a step ahead with quickness and just with, you know, just the plan himself. Great plan coming in, and he did well. Congratulations to him.
He won all the rounds? Is that what you're saying? He won all 12 rounds?
Well, maybe he lost one, but he won the majority of rounds.
At what time did you realize that this was just going to be Shakur taking over the whole fight?
After the 4th round.
Mm-hmm. After the 4th round?
Yeah.
Teofimo, it seems like he couldn't just get it going. Like, he just tried differently going up and down. The counters were getting him.
Yeah.
What could he done differently tonight?
I don't know. You know, it's difficult to box against a great mover like that. And, you know, he tried. He definitely tried. His dad was emotional. You know, he wanted him to do better, but, you know, this is...
Keyshawn Davis said the result came as no surprise to him, explaining that he fully expected Shakur to put on that kind of performance and clearly show his skill and dominance.
Took it out of him.
Nah, I wasn't surprised because the ref kept saying, "Show me something, Jermaine, show me something." And one time, Jermaine was like, "All right, chill." Like, for real. So I wasn't surprised at all. And plus, his eye was shut and bleeding. Like, it was time to stop.
Incredible. Eddie Hearn reacted by saying he was confident Shakur would win, but he didn't expect him to do it so impressively. He said Shakur exceeded all expectations, dominated the fight brilliantly, and praised his skill, speed, and overall performance throughout the match.
Just be too good.
Yeah.
Like, he didn't really have to
listen, I was fully confident he'd win the fight. I didn't think he'd win it as widely as that. I thought, you know, I mean, look, Teo's a great fighter. He made him look average in there. And that's because Shakur is so good. His IQ is so good. His footwork is so good. I actually think he could have stopped Teo if he would have pushed it on the gas a little bit, but didn't need to. It was so easy. He's a 4-division world champion at 28 years of age. Phenomenal.
What was his excellency saying ringside watching it?
Just that he's so good, you know, and I think sometimes people think that you know, Teo can do a little bit more, but like every time he tried to, he was just getting countered, peppered, and yeah, it was phenomenal to watch.
Conor Benn always managed to come away.
Started on a few people tonight, yeah.
Shakur Stevenson, so I just spoke to him there. He said his style's boring. He said if you like boxing, he gets it. But other than that, it's easy work for him. That fight realistic?
Yeah, why not? Look, for me, I still dream of Conor Benn winning a world title.
Zach Schumacher commented that while you can criticize Teofimo Lopez's performance, you can't question his heart. He said boxing needs more fighters like him, fighters willing to give everything in the ring. Teofimo delivered the kind of fight fans wanted, showing courage and determination, and Schumacher emphasized that commitment and bravery deserve respect, because risking it all is what makes boxing great, no matter the outcome. Meanwhile, Teddy Atlas reacted live, expressing disappointment in Teofimo's start. He said the fight was tied up and no good, pointing out that with all the pre-fight talk and antics from Teofimo's father, more was expected. Atlas noted that while Teofimo still has plenty of rounds left, his opening was underwhelming. He also observed a minor headbutt, likely caused by Teofimo rushing in headfirst, top-heavy. Atlas added that some judges might favor aggressors over tactical fighters, but he stressed that aggression must be effective, not reckless.
But what you said, some people said 2-2. I understand. I think it's a shutout. Shakur won this round so far, but a little headbutt there, I guess. A warning from the ref. And that's probably the fault of Teo, be honest. He's rushing in head heavy, top heavy. But some judges like the aggressor more than the tactician. But for me, it's got to be effective aggression. It can't just be aggression. And a little bit better close to the round by Lopez. That was
it was. He went to the body better. He had a little success with the right hand to the body.
Teddy Atlas praised Shakur Stevenson's technical mastery, pointing out how he controlled the distance, landed effective body shots, and used his right hand with precision. He noted that Teofimo's father keeps urging him to land shots on Shakur, but Atlas hopes Teofimo receives smarter strategic guidance, because he clearly needs it at this point. Discussing the scoring, Atlas mentioned that Teofimo may have performed slightly better in the second half of the fight, but overall he remained behind. He stressed the importance of Shakur's jab. Both fighters understand its value, but Shakur, a true master of it, has kept complete control. Ultimately, Atlas emphasized that for Teofimo to stay competitive, he must adjust, build on small successes, and find ways to counter Shakur's precise technique. Without doing that, Shakur's dominance stays evident, leaving Teofimo with a very tough challenge.
And I think they were making fun, to be honest. I think they were chiding Lopez and his father. I think they were chiding Lopez and his father a little bit.
Yeah, there's a lot of talk before this fight and some nasty stuff said on both sides. But you'd like to think after the fight that they gain some respect and put that to bed. Terrence Crawford doesn't lose, huh?
No.
Clarissa Shields expressed immense pride in Shakur Stevenson, praising his commanding performance over Teofimo Lopez. She said Shakur didn't just win. He completely outclassed Teofimo, showing exactly why he ranks among the best fighters in the world. Shields highlighted his precision, speed, and tactical intelligence, noting how effortlessly he controlled the fight and set the pace from start to finish. She emphasized that performances like this cement Shakur's place among the elite, proving he is not only a champion, but clearly one of the top 4 in his division. Shields admired how Shakur blends defensive mastery with sharp, effective offense, making every move count while remaining calm under pressure. Even when Teofimo tried to make adjustments, Shakur's skill, timing, and ring intelligence made him untouchable. For Shields, this fight is a perfect example of Shakur's talent, determination, and status as one of boxing's very best today.
and like I told y'all, we was gonna see a little bit of athleticism, but we was gonna see Shakur be using his jab, going to the body, and we saw blood today. Shakur did great today. Only thing I can ask for is a stoppage. I can't ask for nothing else.
What would you think about, obviously, Teo's eye? He never seemed to be able to get into it at all. Is that kind of like the experience you had?
He won a round or two, maybe, but that's it. Shakur too dominant. He was able to hit him clean first round, able to avoid shots. Shakur is just on his A game. He's sharper, he's stronger, he's better, and now he's a 4-division world champion.
Paulie Molinági reacted to Shakur Stevenson's performance, calling it a masterclass of epic proportions. He said, "I thought Shakur might put on a show like this, but even this went beyond what I expected. I figured if he had a great night, he could make it look easy and win, but this was on a whole new level." Malik Nagy also praised Shakur's technical brilliance, pointing out that Teofimo tried everything he could, yet Shakur's style, movement, and defensive mastery were simply unbelievable.
Freaking masterclass beyond epic proportions. I thought Shakur might do something like this, but even this exceeded my expectations. You know, I thought it may be, if Shakur had a really good night, make it look easy and win 9-3, 10-2. This was 12-0, 11-1, and I mean, it was next level type stuff. Teo was trying everything. The various wrinkles to Shakur's style are unbelievable. I mean, I know people like to say he runs. That's because they don't understand what they're watching. I rarely, in my mind, have I ever seen Shakur literally run. Is he defensive? Yes, because he doesn't open up into crazy offensive routines. Okay, yes, so that makes him defensive, but he never really runs. He's a master of position. I'm always trying to talk about and explain to people that being a master of position is so important, you know, not breaking your position. And what I mean by that is...
He compared Shakur Stevenson to Floyd Mayweather and Terrence Crawford, noting that while Crawford leaned a bit more on offense, true mastery of position is what separates fighters at the elite level. Paulie highlighted Shakur's southpaw jab, calling it snappy, sharp, versatile, and incredibly hard to counter. Overall, he described Shakur as a next-level defensive specialist and a brilliant tactical fighter whose performance went far beyond expectations.
You punch every time you make a defensive move, but every defensive move you make leaves you balanced enough and in a position enough to be able to punch if you want to, if you have the option to punch. And your opponent sees that, and that's why your opponent doesn't attack as aggressively, because sometimes they do get countered, sometimes they don't. You keep them guessing, but your position is always a position that you can punch off of. When guys aren't great at position, even when they make guys miss or whatever, they'll wind up in contorted position situations where they are not able to punch. That's not a really great defensive fighter, and a lot of times they wind up running and going to flight and so on and so forth. That leads to those kind of lapses where pressure fighters end up getting to guys. But even if you're not a huge puncher, if you're a master of position, you're always going to have the edge. It's just how much of a master are you going to be? Shakur is a next level master of position.
Shakur Stevenson dominated Teofimo Lopez in their recent fight, displaying exceptional precision, timing, and ring intelligence. Right from the opening rounds, Stevenson's jab was sharp and accurate, controlling the distance and creating opening for his combinations before Lopez could respond effectively. Lopez tried to increase the pace early on, but his approach was weakened by a lowered lead hand and a tendency to overcommit, leaving him exposed to Stevenson's stiff, snapping jab.
It wasn't the most entertaining fight because it was really a slow-paced type of a fight. Pop-shotting, kind of in Shakur Stevenson's pace. And Teofimo Lopez needed to do something different in this fight. He needed to get, Shakur out of his character. He needed to push the pace, which he did in round one, but wasn't successful. He was jumping into his punch, his lead hand was down, and he was getting clipped with every stiff jab possible. Shakur Stevenson definitely got one of the best jabs in boxing. I've been saying this for a while now, and it's really due to the snap of the punch and the relaxation. He's so relaxed. Shout out to Turkey Al-Sheikh for putting on the fight. But this was definitely a masterclass. If anything, Teofimo Lopez might have won one round out of this whole fight. But Shakur, just a masterclass. Now, he calls out Conor Benn. Conor Benn comes into the ring, says, "You too small." But also, Shakur Stevenson says he wants that rehydration clause, the same rehydration clause you put Chris Eubank through. So, I don't know if this fight's going to happen due to the fact that, I don't know if, Conor Benn is really willing to do that, knowing that, Conor Benn is number one in the